All right, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta finish my hair. I'm still rocking my fro, my curly fro. And I left this little important tidbit out. Okay. Um. Hello, Ashley. Ashley had left me a comment on that last live that I just did, and I want to talk to y'all about stalkers and evildoers. Okay, real quick. Stalkers and evildoers that committed evil, did things that were unnecessary, made bad decisions, even if they received bad advice. Okay. Even if somebody told them the wrong thing because they were trusting the wrong people to advise them on what to do. Okay. You cannot do evil to people, stalk people, slander people, and then think that you're going to do an uncrossing ritual. Not going to happen ever. A person that has made bad decisions to stalk somebody, to literally try to do harm to that person, they can never uncross themselves until, you know when they can uncross themselves? Until they stop and they make good. A lot of people learned this lesson. A lot of people have learned this lesson. Okay. These people did not leave people alone. Witchcraft and the craft is not to be used to try to control and dominate the lives of others. You can't use witchcraft to harm somebody that you are obsessively jealous of. You can't do plots against people and think that you're going to use witchcraft to get under it or to get around it. It doesn't happen that way. Sorry. There's no way to uncross yourself except for you to come clean. Okay, those people have to come clean and admit that they have made a mistake and they have to move on. There is nobody in this world that is meant to be the sacrifices for those people. Now, I realize that a lot of people get bad information from social media, especially when it comes to Hollywood. Like, for example, when we see people talking about, somebody sacrificed somebody and all that stuff, you know, and people get in their mind, oh, I can make it big and become rich if I sacrifice the soul of someone else. That is not the way that it works. In fact, people that are doing things like that are going to get swift karma. It does not work that way. I understand that we hear a lot about certain things, and it doesn't work that way. Okay. So evildoers that are sitting there doing evil, hateful, spiteful things, attacking people's kids, sending death magic to people's kids, sending death and destruction to people's families, being very diabolical. They cannot ever uncross themselves until they stop doing what they're doing. It's never going to work for them. So a lot of you guys are mothers out there that was attacked unfairly and unprovoked. Somebody looked at you and your family and decided, hey, I'm badass. I'm going to try to attack this lady and her kids, and I'm going to take everything from them. I'm going to rob them. I'm going to take their souls and mess up their family, and I want to see them messed up because I'm mad and I can't take responsibility. Listen, I want to let y'all know that a lot of y'all mothers out there have nothing to fear. You just have to talk to spirit. People that are evil and stalking people and doing evil things, you can't uncross yourself. You ain't gonna never do that. You ain't gonna never uncross yourself because God is never gonna let you. Spirit is never gonna let a person do that, especially if they got somebody that, they're targeting somebody that is in direct communication with their ancestors. Now, the one thing that they try to do, because like I said, they're smart dumb, one thing that they will try to do is they will try to bind the throat so that nobody can hear you. This is a criminal. This is a horrible person that is going to get theirs. I've had it done to me. Whenever you have someone trying to do harm to you, they'll try to bind the throat so nobody will listen to you. They'll try to bind you. They'll try to make you look bad. Whenever you are the target of some idiotic person, they almost always, this is the whole purpose of narcissists doing smear campaigns. The whole purpose of them doing a smear campaign is to get as many people against you so that nobody will believe you, so that you can be a sitting duck for their attacks, so that they can get away with it. They think, oh, well, everybody thinks this person is a horrible person, so they won't believe them. They will attack your throat. Same thing as if you have a parent that has abused the child. What the parent will do, and this has been done in spiritual work. I work with a lot of survivors of sexual abuse. What their parent will do, if they have trafficked the child or if they have molested the child, they will go to witches, dirty, deep, dark, dirty witches, or they will go to people in the church that will do ceremonies and rituals on that kid to make that kid look crazy, to make the person look crazy, so that they can get away with the things that they have done. And they do throat binding rituals to where nobody will believe that child, to where nobody will believe that anything is happening, even though the child is saying that something is happening to me. Same thing. Same thing. A narcissist that is in their 40s and 50s and ain't never figured out how to be a good person, if they have targeted somebody with a silly, idiotic selves that they were going to sacrifice, and ooh, this person got 4 kids, ooh, I'm going to sacrifice them too. They always have to do a smear campaign. Why? Because it's still considered to be grave robbing and soul snatching and energy harvesting. Because what they want to do is they want to take everything from you and your children that you're supposed to have, and they want to steal. They steal your timeline, they steal your essence, they steal all your blessings. It can be done, and it has been done to a lot of people. Okay. Yes, ma'am, Ashley. Hey, hon. Hey, girl. Hey. Yeah, so those people will never uncross themselves. In fact, they'll be cursed until the day that they die, till they leave this earth. And if hell exists, that's where they will go. That's where they will go. Trust me. Now, God knows everything, but see, your spirits and God ain't gonna hear you if they can't hear you. And they will do things. It's the same thing as if somebody is trying to rob you and take from you, rape you, kill you, and they put their hands over your mouth so you can't, so that nobody can hear you. That's why they isolate you. They accuse you of all sorts of things. It's not the truth. They try to silence you. That's why they have an invested interest in your social media, because they want to silence the truth. Okay, and it depends on how diabolical they are. Because I've actually heard sick people say, oh, well, it doesn't matter what that parent or what that uncle or what that grandparent did to that child. They have every right to do it because that's their child. I've heard it. And I'm not talking about just controversial things like homeschooling or foregoing vaccines. I'm talking about rape, sodomy, and beating the child and turning the child into a freaking slave. I've actually had people say that to me that I couldn't even believe it. I've heard of parents using their children as some kind of sacrifice for their own iniquities, even though it says in their Bibles that a child is not supposed to suffer the sins of the father. They twisted it around and said, suffer the children for the sins of the father. There's some parents out there, that's why horrible things are happening to their children, because they are purposely working with demons and entities to sacrifice those children. Those parents are not standing in front of their children. They're using their children as bulletproof vests. Okay, I know that a lot of y'all, especially including myself, y'all already know y'all love the fuck out of your children. You will fucking die for your children. There, everybody ain't like you. Everybody ain't willing to die for their children. They see them children as sacrifices. They're supposed to stand guard and be their guard and die for them and give their life up for them and give up everything to them because they did what they were supposed to, which was fed you and raised you, which is their responsibility in the first place. That's pretty much the general rule of the parent. If you're a parent, you're supposed to take care of your child. That's why some of y'all are in y'all 30s and 40s, and your parent is still trying to say, well, you owe me. Any parent that says that a child owes them for taking care of them is a horrible parent. If you raise your 9 times out of 10, if you raise your child correctly, you ain't never got to say that, because your kids are going to always make sure that you're taken care of. They're going to always make sure of that. In fact, it won't even be a need for that conversation. Everybody will be safe and sound and secure. So it's a lot of evil that's going on. And High Priestess Jamila, I save those children that are those adult children that are going through that, where the parents have taken everything from them because you had a narcissistic, sociopathic parent. Okay, that will purposely do things to mess you up in life, and then make excuses and when while all this horrible shit is happening to you. So trust me, I know anybody that's evil and diabolical, they don't have a prayer. The only prayer that they have is to say, please forgive me, and to come clean and to tell the truth. Otherwise, they will never uncross yourself. Please. It'll never happen until you come clean, until you tell the truth. And you can't run the witchcraft, because let me tell you something, them goddesses are worse. The Morgan, Hestia, Lilith, Hecate, they are worse. So if you practicing witchcraft, you are working with Hecate, whether you like it or not. And you are not going to get away with trying to use witchcraft to cover up for the horrible things and plots and plans that you had against people that did nothing to you. And then even sometimes people that have done minor infractions, maybe somebody may have done something and they already made good for it. You can't keep coming back to that person trying to take from them. They don't owe you anything. They've already given you what they owed you. So those people that are diabolical, what's left is for them to stop their diabolical plots against people. That's it. You can't uncross yourself. And you know what? They can take it to their grave if they want. Because that's exactly where they're going to be taking it. I have seen people stalk people. I have seen narcissistic gang stalkers stalk people, lie on them, create a bunch of lies around them, and pretend to be innocent while they knowing that they're not innocent. They know that they are attacking an innocent good person, and they'll try to run to witchcraft. Well, guess what? You're going to have to answer to Hecate. You're going to have to answer to Lilith. You're going to have to answer to Isis. You're going to have to answer to all of those people, and they are not touching any of those goddesses. Oh, and the Baba Yaga. The Baba Yaga is a terrifying spirit. And then oh God, I'm gonna talk to y'all. We're gonna do some really fun things where we're gonna talk about one of the first witches in history. I don't know why I can't. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna find out. Hold on. We're gonna go in the history of Tituba. Okay, if y'all ain't never heard of Tituba, look her up. I want to come in and talk about some things like that, things that are interesting. You know, Tituba is a witch. She was one of the first early recorded witches. But especially the Baba Yaga. The Baba Yaga is like a grandmother figure to good witches. And she's not going to allow evil to happen. But you have to be a good person to receive her grace, her blessings, and her power. These people running around here practicing witchcraft, doing all this stuff, trying to attack people's children, attacking people's reputation, doing all these things that they're doing, they're going to meet her, and she's flying all around here. Trust me. And they can't do a banishing spell on her. So that's why people are so terrified and frightened of the Baba Yaga, because she brings justice for the witches that have been wronged. And she is, and so folklore and things of that nature make her out to be terrifying, but in reality, just like Lilith, she protects children, especially witchy children. She protects. So these people have no prayer. If they're going to Jesus, y'all can talk to Jesus too, because you know that's what they doing. Say, hey, Jesus, don't give this person no pass. They did this, and that. And see, a lot of people think that you don't have to talk to these spirits. You do have to talk to them. You have to tell them everything. You have to run them down if you dealing with something to where you want to lock your person up. If the person needs to go to jail for any kind of reason for the things that they have been doing to you, you have to talk to these spirits about what they did to you. You have to fill them in on the law. Oh, the laws have been updated. This is against the law of this land, as well as it's a spiritual violation. So bad people, witchcraft is not going to be you're out. They are done, finished, patut at every end. There's nothing left for them to do but to admit to what they did wrong. It's nothing left for them to do. Okay? Just to let y'all know that. All right, guys, let me get my readings done. Blessings. Bye bye. Love you guys. Bye.